What's going on? Charles Botenston here. Just wanted to make a quick video. Obviously, I say that every single time, but today it's actually really important because I was at the gym this morning, and at the gym that I go to, you enter on the first floor where you check in, and then you go downstairs, and then that's where everything is, the weight, the cardio, and everything else. And it's a nice gym, and it's expensive, and blah, blah, blah. You know, it's just one of those things that who is there? It's like these snooty little members. It's called the Equinox. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's not like over the top. You know, there's nicer gyms out there, but it's right next to work. It's really convenient, and it just happens to be Equinox. The people that go there, they expect, listen, what I'm about to say is I understand that people expect a level of things that are like the best immediately. And this is the funny thing is, I just read a book called Being Imperfect or something like that. It was an alright book, but it's essentially saying going through life not having it be perfect. In other words, you're going to have stumbles, and you're not going to be perfect. Stop trying to be perfect. Stop trying to be James Bond when you talk to the girl. Stop trying to be Elon Musk when you're starting and running a company and scaling a company and making money. Stop trying to be Warren Buffett when you're investing. Be you. Have goals. Scale. But know that it's not just going to be, yay, that was fun, smooth sailing. And this, and essentially what they're saying in there, it's really funny. In the book is they brought up reviews. People will buy something for like $10, and it's like a TV, and they paid $10 for it. Obviously, completely facetious, but they'll pay like an exorbitantly low price on like Amazon, and they get it, and they're like, this is everything, but there's this little part, and I'm gonna return it. And it's like you paid absolutely nothing. The person who created it is making absolutely nothing, and you're gonna leave a review, or you're reading a book and it wasn't exactly what you wanted. It was what the author wanted, but you leave it a 1-star review. It's like perfection is this crazy thing. If you don't like the book, great, move on to another one. If you don't like the product, great, return it. Yeah, you could say, it was great, but I wouldn't get it for this. I'm not saying not to have expectations and to have a feeling of like deserving something because you paid money. But just know that everything you get is not going to be perfect. So this, going back to the story, and it really bothered me, that's why I'm all fired up right now, is I get in, I'm checking in, and I'm signing up for one of the classes. There's a sheet right there for spin or whatever, and the woman after me comes in, and the AC to where you sign in was not working. And in New York City, it's August. Of course, it's a little hot. It's New York City, August, what do you expect? But the AC wasn't working, so it was like, I don't know, 70 degrees or 80 degrees. I have no idea. I don't have a temperature. But it was hot, and it wasn't AC'd. Okay? This woman comes in, and she's like, what's going on? Why is there no AC? This is ridiculous. This is so hot. The guy behind the desk, great guy. I always joke around with him all the time. And imagine him. This woman walks in. She could easily walk out at any time. It's too hot? Great. Go outside and run. Do push-ups. Go to Central Park. He has to work there. Gary, the guy behind the desk, has to work there. And you're literally complaining. Great. He can't leave. He's working there. What do you think? He doesn't know it's hot? She's like, this is ridiculous. I don't know what to do. Listen, it was the first time. I've been going there for a year and a half. It was the first time. I could see it if it was ongoing, a weekly thing, a monthly thing. It's one time. And oh, by the way, 3 hours later it was back on. Just during that 1 3-hour window, sorry ma'am, for 2 years we didn't have the AC on for just 2 hours, 3 hours. of the time that you came. And she flips out. She's like, this is ridiculous. And I'm walking down, and again, I've said this before. When you run into someone negative, you can know them, you could be working with them, that you could be going to school with them, it could be a teammate, it could be a friend, it could be a family member. Observe them. Don't agree. She was saying this, and I was just walking. I wasn't nodding my head and observe the situation and just say, do I want this negativity? Do I want this person or whatever in my life right now? And then it's the morning. I'm not going to start off my morning with agreeing with this woman. And oh, by the way, it was just in that area. The AC was broken just in the reception area. When you get to the main area where you work out and cycling and the classes and the cardio machines and everything, the AC was fine. It was just in that area. We have come accustomed to literally expect perfection, which is not good. It's really not good. Number one is then we don't try. When you expect to be perfect, you don't try. But this is what's more important than that, is that we don't appreciate things. I worked out and then I left, and there's like this little park. I say park, but it's New York City, so it's concrete, and then they have like 2 or 3 trees. But they have this little, they have a bunch of trees and they have a bench, and I sat down. I was answering a couple of emails before hopping over to get oatmeal and then coming up to this area to obviously make my sales calls. And I sat there and I thought about it. I'm like, what is the, and this is really where Tony Robbins said it, the quality of questions that you ask are in direct proportion of the quality of answers you're going to get and the quality of life you're going to have. So I started asking, I'm like, what's the difference between me and that woman in the beginning? What is it? What is that? You have to have gratitude. You have to have appreciation. If you truly, truly think of your life right now, think of all of the shit that you did not need to invent or to create or to go out and pick food, to like cut the groceries or grow the food or fertilize it or own the land or ship it to you. Or if you're driving, the pavement, you don't have to, the electricity to run the lights to make sure there's orderly fashion while driving, the car that you're in, that there's AC, that there's a radio station, there's airbags and doors and handles, and when it's cold there's windows that you can roll up and down and turn heat. Like, are you kidding me? Really, it bothers me. It really bothers me because we have come accustomed to just these expectations that are just absolutely insane. They are insane. I am not saying that technology and everything else, I'm the biggest proponent. I want to be launched in a tube to space, to Mars, like today. I will buy the newest iPhone. I will buy immediately. I love technology. I want to be robotic. I want to live to 250 years old. However, that's not mutually exclusive, which means that you can love technology, but you can also appreciate it. And when the AC happens to not work, whoopee-doo-dah. Like, okay, great. Like, what are you going to do? You can either bitch about it, or you can do something. Take action. Taking action is you leave the gym. You don't need to go to the gym. You can run in Central Park if it's too hot in the gym. Or you can just say, you know what? I'm going to take it easy. And by the way, it was just in that area. It's like, here's another story that Tony Robbins talks about. He was on a cross Pacific or cross Atlantic flight. It was, I think, to Australia from the United States, which is whatever amount of hours, 15, 20 hours. It's a long time in a plane. I flew to Fiji from LA. That's far. I was standing half the time, and I'm going to make a video about being sedentary. Is it sedentary or sedentary, which is the new smoking. Sitting is the new smoking by far. Is more people are going to die from sitting down and not eating correctly than from anything else. Because technology is getting to the point where we're going to have automated cars, health is getting to a point, blah blah blah. I lost my train of thought, or I just got into a tangent. So Tony Robbins says he was on one of these flights, And it was, when internet first came on in planes and everything else, and I think you have to pay for it. I don't know, but it was like this revolutionary thing. And they announced it over the loudspeaker. They said, "Oh, by the way, this is the first time from the United States to Australia that we're actually introducing the internet. You can log on here. It's blah blah blah." I think it was free, and everyone celebrated. The whole plane went crazy. It went bananas, though. Like, this never happens. This is completely revolutionary and things like that. And then, literally out of nowhere, 10 minutes in, he has the internet stops working. And then everyone goes from this elation that the technology never existed before. And it was the first time that they're literally announcing this technology. And it goes to, like, you're appreciative, and then it was gone, and then you just lost it. And it's like, but it didn't even exist. You didn't even know it existed until 10 minutes ago. And it's one of those things that, and I'm not saying things don't suck. I'm not saying that. It's just walk around in appreciation. Walk around in a state, as, again, Tony Robbins says, state of gratitude. And the reason you do that is your life could be so much worse. You could live in a different country. You could have been born with something that made your life a little bit more challenging, like one arm or one leg, or blind or deaf. Or if you are, you could be paraplegic. Or if you're paraplegic, you may not even be here. Or you don't have someone taking care of you. Or you don't have something in your life that makes it a little bit easier, where you could communicate via a phone, via a computer, via the internet, to anyone in the world. Writing a book, reading a book, absorbing information and knowledge. I was joking around with this guy. I know we're pushing 12 minutes and I'm going to end it soon. I was talking to this guy in the gym also today, and I'm 31. He's like 26, and he likes giving me shit because I'm 31. I'm like, dude, I'm living to at least 125. That actually may go up to like 150. 100% I'm doing that, by the way. Barring nothing ridiculous happens to me. But health-wise, I'm going to eat right. I'm going to exercise. There's a lot of things I want to accomplish. So we're talking about it, and I was like, literally, the only way that we could learn about anything when I was up until about college years, we didn't have internet on our phones. The only way to actually observe anything, any way to actually learn something, was through a book, asking someone, or doing. If you didn't know if you didn't know about a sport, or you didn't know about anything, you could either read about it, which means you go to a library, you could ask somebody, or if you're like, I wonder how golf is, you go out and you play it. Or you don't know about cold calling because there's no cold calling books, then you go out and you do it. Or sales. Or I was a landscaper, or caddying, or whatever. There's no like internet, like this is what you do and everything else. And I think that's an issue with being perfect, is that we're literally walking around and thinking that everything should be perfect. All right, I'm getting off tangent. Anyway, have an awesome day. Keep your expectation, trade your expectations for appreciation. Walk around in a state of gratitude. And I'm going to come out with a video on really just living a better lifestyle right after this one. There's 3 things to it, so probably tomorrow you'll see it. But have an awesome day. Subscribe to the videos. And, of course, as always, leave your comments below. Share it on wherever you could share it so we can get more subscribers. I want to get 1,000 by the end of this year. And then next year I want to get 5,000. So those are my goals. It's really not about making money, because I don't make money off of it. It's just, it really helps me to absorb things that I read by actually teaching it, or just talking about it. I'm teaching it, whatever you want to call it. So have an awesome day. Talk to you guys soon.